in back to school time, and we're in the second week of school here in Northern Virginia. And there was a message from my daughter's music teacher. She plays the viola. And it really struck me as well-intentioned, but also not a good thing, and how this can apply to moms trying to get back to exercise at whatever stage. And it was a 30-day challenge. And those of you that are on, social media all the time, like, that's a huge marketing tool that people do to get people motivated. And for some people, it's fantastic. And you're like, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm all in. And it rubs me the wrong way. And this is why. So for those of you that love 30-day challenges and you stick to it and you think it's awesome, keep scrolling. You're going to hate what I have to say, or listen and be mad at me. That's fine too. For those of you that you go in and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it this time. And then the one day you don't do it, or a day that you miss, and you're like, fudge, I ruined it. Now I can't ever do it again. So many of us have done that. I think it sucks. And so my daughter's, middle school. And again, I appreciate the intent. She picked up her viola maybe twice this summer. And so it's to get in the habit of doing things again. And full disclosure, I stopped playing an instrument in middle school, high school, because I did not practice every day. I wasn't great at practicing, and I didn't like it. But guess what I did do? I did go to cross-country practice every day, or swim practice, or things like that. So we make our choices. But what I don't like is the idea. So this is counting towards credit, towards her grade. And I don't like that, because, and she's trying to make it minimal. And again, I appreciate creating a habit and all that kind of stuff, but she's not providing the structure to do that. She's like, oh, you need to video, or she's trying to provide accountability and be like, oh, just do 2 minutes every day. It'll be totally fine. Yeah. What happens if she doesn't do it? She doesn't get full credit. Same thing for us, if you're that person that if you don't do it that day and you skip, well, then you start all over again. I have a Headspace app that I love and I hate. I had a huge streak in the first year and a half of lockdown, because I literally had the same schedule every day, because I didn't have to go into clinic till later because I didn't have patients, except for telehealth. And so I would get up, I would go downstairs, I would do my Headspace. It was the same thing every day. And I don't have that now. So I only have certain days where that works out well. But I hate that the countdown clock, or the how many times you did it, it doesn't count. The second I miss a day in a row, it starts to fuck over, and it really pisses me off and ruins my, I don't know. I just don't like that feeling. And so for those of us that our days are different, and maybe I don't get to something every day, but we don't need to penalize people for not being able to do something 30 days in a row. One of the things I talk about with moms when you're trying to get back to running, especially if you haven't done it in a couple years or a couple of kids and you're trying to reestablish that, is before you start running, and we'd rather do that, I need you to establish a habit of doing some strength training. That, I'm if you can get to it 2-3 times a week for 3 to 5 minutes, that shows me that you've established something. But there's some leeway, there's some room for people to drop grenades into your life, and things to blow up and happen that you can't control. And so I think preparing people to accommodate grenades is way more realistic than being hell or high water. You got to do that 30 days or you're not going to get your full credit. I hate that, but that also is my personality. I cannot gun to my head do something 30 days in a row unless it's really set up and conducive for me to do so. And I see so many moms that doing something 30 days in a row is a huge barrier. I'm let's start with 1 time a week. Let's start with 2 times a week. If you can start to establish a little bit of strength, okay, great. Then we can add a little bit more. Show me a couple weeks that you can start to do something. And then all or nothing doesn't freaking work with mom life, or at least my experience with it. It does not work. But giving people an opportunity to have grenades thrown in their life, but still kind of show up in a way that works for them, I can get down with that. So I'm not a fan, middle school orchestra teacher of the 30-day challenge. I appreciate the intent, but not all of us work that way. And same thing for moms. Like, again, I love a good 30-day challenge if that's your jam and that gets you motivated. But for the rest of us, it just sets up a barrier for failure. Like, no, we don't need to have that. So instead of a 30-day challenge, have like a, hey, I showed up once a week, and maybe that's a great start. Or, hey, I showed up twice a week and I did my strength thing for 3 weeks in a row. So now I'm going to start a walk run. Like, let's be a little bit kinder. Let's not be as dictator about the whole situation. Let me know what you think. Are you team 30-day challenge and ride or die, or are you a little bit more realistic like me? And 30-day challenge just is a setup for not good things. I'm really, really curious. And if you've done a 30-day challenge, tell me what got you through it and what made it work, and was it sustainable? That's the other thing too. Is it sustainable? I think 2 to 3 times a week is far more sustainable than every freaking day. But again, that's my personality. So let me know what your personality is, what works for you. And Abby says, good morning.